welcome all of you to yet another episode of Meet the Masters. Today the Medievis TV camera crew has travelled all the way to Abu Dhabi, the capital of UAE, and we are at the premises of Ahalia Hospital in Musa, and I am in conversation with Dr Bhuvaneswaran, the Medical Director of Ahalia Hospital, Musa Abu Dhabi. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hello, Srijit.
Well, Dr. Bhuvan, service to mankind is service to God, and Ahalia as a group is doing just the right kind of service. Well, the viewers would like to know all about the Ahalia group as a whole, and being the right spokesperson, and you're the best person to explain and tell us what Ahalia group does.
Actually, Ahalia group, it's a very interesting story. In 1984, Ahalia Hospital was started as a small clinic by Dr. Gopal in Abu Dhabi, and subsequently over all these years, now it has grown into a large chain of clinics and hospitals. And actually there's one major hospital which we already have in Abu Dhabi is in Hamadan Road, which is very, very well known and well established hospital. Which was started in the mid-90s and became a multi-speciality hospital in the early 2000s. And Ahalia Group owns a large facility in back home in India, in Kerala. We call it as Ahalia Health Heritage Knowledge Village, which is spread over 400 acres, which has an Ayurvedic college, it has a diabetic hospital, eye hospital, very unique combination of women and children hospital, and one of the largest rainwater harvest farm in Asia. So it is a very interesting back home establishment. And here we have about 10 peripheral centers which is spread all over UAE, especially more in Abu Dhabi, and about 20 pharmacies which are spread around. And Ahalia Group as a whole has its business in money exchanges, and they have trading divisions, and our chairman is Sri Mansoori. And so we have been here in the healthcare business from 1984. In fact, you can say that we are one of the very early pioneers in the healthcare industry in Abu Dhabi as a whole.
Well, we are at the premises of wonderful and well-organized structure here, the Ahalia Hospital here at Musa Abu Dhabi. We would like to know more about the current hospital, this huge setup.
Actually, that brings me also to the picture. Like Ahalia Hospital Musafa was conceived in 2010, and subsequently over this 3.5 years it was built. It's a marvelous structure. It is basically spread over 200,000 square foot, and constructed with a revenue of around 230 million dirhams, one of the largest facilities in this area, in the industrial area of Musafa. In fact, the history goes like this. We had a couple of peripheral centers in Musafa where there was an overwhelming response to Ahalia's peripheral clinics, which gave the confidence to the management that establishing a large multi-speciality hospital would have its presence here. So this hospital currently, which is now licensed by the Health Authority of Abu Dhabi and started its functioning since May, is a hospital with very interesting composition. We have multi-ethnic doctors, multi-ethnic very well qualified doctors, I should say, that with multi-ethnic nursing and paramedical persons, with almost 18 specialty departments and basic departments which serve to the community. We have basic departments like internal medicine, general surgery, obstetrics and gynecology, pediatrics, to the other side of the broad specialties to super specialties or subspecialties we can call, as Department of Interventional and Non-Invasive Cardiology. We have a Department of Neonatology, Neurosurgery, Plastic Surgery, Cosmetic Surgery. So in fact, I will give you a brochure. It can tell you that we have hosts of services which are being undertaken. And this hospital has some more unique facilities. One is that we really look forward for the clients cutting across the ethnicity, and where we have an expertise awaiting they here. And so technically, ethically, the best possible way we are here to serve the community. To add on a little more special facilities, we have one of the best technical support. For example, we have the first 3 Tesla MRI in Gulf, which is now Philips 3 Tesla MRI. We have a 128 slice CT scan, a state-of-the-art cath lab we have, and we have almost 7 operative suites with a modular structure, which is one of the state-of-the-art which is there with us. We have a very unique 3D reconstruction facility possible, PACS, that is Picture Archival Communication System, which makes very easy for the doctors to work. Primarily, the doctor who can want to see a CT scan or MRI in whichever service station, whichever workstation he has, he can see the facility there and reconstruct imaging. So the hospital has an excellent expertise in all this area. We have specialists who can undertake bariatric surgeries like the obesity reduction surgeries. We have laparoscopy experts. We have cosmetology experts. We have ENT experts who can do certain things very special. We have cardiologists, including me, who can do the transradial intervention procedures. And we have certain plans of starting the cardiac surgery in the near future. So we have a state-of-the-art infrastructure which is well supported by the technical qualified licensed doctors to offer the best.
Well, being an industry veteran and an expert yourself, what we'd like to know is all about yourself. So if you could tell us your background and so on, we would prefer to hear from you.
Don't make me so old by calling me a veteran and all. Basically, my background is from India. I have qualified from prestigious institutions like Stanley Medical College for my MBBS undergrad, and post-graduation in Kasturba and famous Sri Chitra Tirunal Institute of Medical Sciences for my cardiology. I started my career as a cardiology in one of the very reputed institution in Tamil Nadu, PSG group of institutions.
Very well.
Yes. So there I had almost 19 years of my tenure. Started from the basic level, and when I took off from there, I was a professor and head of the Department of Cardiology, and I was a medical director there for the specialty hospital. And I always had some interest in the medical administration. I took my MBA also. So basically with that, my association with the Ahalia group started back in 2005. In fact, I was visiting Ahalia here as a visiting consultant, and was the one to start the transradial procedures in Abu Dhabi here in 2005 with the new cath lab. So I was visiting here for a few years, and then subsequently now I am here as a medical director with them as a full-timer to offer my work. So I would say that I'm a clinician basically, with a lot of interest in the management of the hospital affairs. So I'm not a full-time administrator. I would like to offer my services to the community as a doctor, which I have a passion, and within my capacities to organize the hospital work. Now that is exactly how I look at it.
Well, there have been so many challenges that the so-called healthcare industry has been facing, or the human race has been facing. As an expert, could you tell us what are the major challenges that are being faced in taking into consideration the healthcare sector?
I would look at your question in two angles. Now, as a healthcare industry in this part of the country, our main challenge which we face, in fact most of us face, is the manpower. because I would really sincerely appreciate the regularity. The authorities here are extremely stringent in getting the manpower in. That puts a little pressure on us because we are not able to get adequate number of people all the time here, because the attrition rates are very high in the healthcare industry, especially in the medical and the nursing areas. We find that is one of our factors which we face as a challenge. Otherwise, I would say that the health authorities here, the government here are extremely industry friendly in terms of helping us in establishing the setup here, and indirectly or directly making us to deliver one of the best healthcare in this part of the world. And in fact, of European or American standards, it really makes us really proud to be associated with that type of activity. The other angle to the same question, as a medical industry, now we see different types of healthcare challenges. Now we see the earlier days, people used to have healthcare challenges on terms of infectious diseases. They had fevers, malaria. That is about all the how people used to have. Now currently, if you look at it, the healthcare challenges are all challenges because of prosperity. When I say the challenges of prosperity, a prosperous person seems to be overeating, under-exercising, overindulgence, and stressful. Now they are all becomes a signs of prosperity of late. Now this poses a different spectrum of diseases like high incidence of hypertension, diabetes mellitus, obesity, cardiac diseases because of this combination. And these are all the challenges which we feel, or the challenges which we see in this part of the country. We see this problem is almost like a disease which is spreading across, cutting across a socio-economic class. We have seen from basic workers to the bosses having these type of illnesses. Now this is a healthcare challenge from the community which we face. So as a industry, a responsible industry, we have two important things to do. One is not just to go to the industry, go to the community and treat the disease when the disease comes in. We definitely have to shoulder the responsibility of doing something to prevent these problems by making awareness programs, and that exactly is what we should do. So from prevention to cure, that should be the challenge which all the healthcare industry we face.
And the so-called CSR, the corporate social responsibility. What is your take on that?
In fact, I would say that the corporate social responsibility is a very important portion or a portfolio for our hospital activity. As I was telling you, the best corporate social responsibility which we can have is spread the awareness. We have forums like Cardiac Club, Diabetic Club. Then we have special forums to educate people on nutrition and dietings. So we have very good forums through which we spread the awareness. So education, making somebody aware of the possibility of the problem is one way of doing it. The other one is we do conduct a lot of screening camps for the underprivileged. We do certain special concessional things for the underprivileged. And so the corporate social responsibility is being very well managed by our group.
What are the different types of awards and acclaims that the Ahalia group has received till date? And where do you see the hospital, the Ahalia Hospital, Musa Abu Dhabi in particular, 5 years from now?
The Ahalia Hospital Hamadan, which was started in, as I was telling you, as a clinic in 1984, we had the prestigious Sheikh Khalifa Award of Abu Dhabi, which was conferred on us on two occasions, as well as we have got the award from you, the Medibis TV Awards for one of the best performing hospitals back home in India for the portfolio of diabetes and ophthalmic care. So the new hospital is yet to start because we have to open our account. But we have a very clear vision that we would be the leader in the healthcare industry in this part of the country, in the private sector, to offer the best medical care. So you would hear more awards for us. But not exactly awards, we had the coveted accreditations. The very prestigious JCA accreditation is one which we are very proud of. So also JCA accreditation for our hospital in Hamdan, as well as we have the ISO certifications, because we believe in quality care. So these accreditations tell us very clearly what is the level of medical care which we can deliver to the community.
And how do you see the hospital's growth as the years go by?
Yes, we have actually plans. The current hospital with its full functionality, we are starting an additional annex hospital which would take care of different types of patients and problems. We have plans of expansion into more hospitals. We have some exclusive hospitals being planned in Abu Dhabi, and we have some plans of expansion to other areas of the Gulf. So the management has a spectrum of plans to have which to be delivered in the healthcare sector of the UAE.
Well, as a specialist in the field of cardiology, I'd like to ask you a question with a different arrow, which means, what are the prerequisites that a common layman should undergo to protect a so-called precious heart?
You mean a precious heart or a sweetheart? Anyway, I would say that the most important thing which I would say as risk factors, the word was defined by the World Health Organization, or the 8 risk factors the World Health Organization say that somebody should be aware of to know or to prevent themselves from the heart problems. One, you should know that becoming older is a risk factor. Somebody who is above the age of 50, they get more heart problems. Being a male is a risk factor. Males get more heart problems compared to ladies. Especially ladies are protected in their, during their menstrual time because of a hormone called as estrogen. The other risk factors are diabetes mellitus or blood sugar, hypertension or high BP, smoking. Then a family history. If you have people from more than one person in your family at younger age having a cardiac problem, that can be one of the risk factors. Then the other risk factor being a very high bad cholesterol and very low good cholesterol. These are all the defined risk factors of the World Health Organization. So putting it the other way, now I would say that how you can protect yourself from a heart problem. Number one, you should be aware of the risk factors and have an appropriate screening at the appropriate age. Number one. Number two, you should be very careful in what you eat. I always say that eat healthy. If you put your emotions into eating, you end up in eating very, very well in the wrong food sometimes. So you should know what you should avoid. Avoid extremely complex foods. Avoid extremely fatty foods. Avoid overcooked foods. Have more of a natural food, less complex food, fruits and vegetables, more salads more compared to the non-vegetarian items, especially the complex meats. The other one angle is the physical exercise. You make sure that you exercise adequately. The best exercise I would say that is somebody can walk for about 20 to 25 minutes a day, a brisk walk. And sometimes that may be a limitation, especially in summer here, but you make sure that you find a place which is air conditioned. I would in fact call it as mall walking. Also, you can go to the mall and walk for about 15-20 minutes of walking is one of the very good exercises which you can pursue, which can give a very healthy heart. The third one is your mind. I always say that you have to make living is not life. Many times people confuse between living and life. So have a mind which is stress-free to make a living, and so that you have a peaceful life. So I would say the mind, the body, as well as what you eat, and make sure that by screening you have these risk factors, make sure that you control them adequately, would reasonably protect somebody from a cardiac problem.
Why should somebody quit smoking?
Now, smoking is now scientifically very well proven to lead on to two important problems. One is problem of atherosclerosis, that is hardening of arteries, which lead on to more heart attacks and strokes. The other one is smoking is very well established cause of causing cancer and carcinoma. Now, in fact, in this country, I have seen smoking very rampant, especially in the younger generation. And in fact, if you walk across, you see the people stand out and smoke because they are not allowed to smoke inside, very rampantly. So it's high time that, because we know that the incidence of the cardiac problems are also going up high in this part of the world. So I should say that, in fact, I think the World No Tobacco Day was celebrated very recently, a few days back. So I think it is high time that somebody quits smoking, because that would protect your heart and protect you from cancer.
And thus save your family as well.
As well as a lot of money. That although we don't say that, it saves a lot of money.
One last question from your side. What is that one message that you would like to people give to people who are watching this telecast? It can be youngsters, it can be healthcare professionals, it can be the other side of the audience as well, being an expert in the field of healthcare.
One, as a message, as a hospital, as from a healthcare group, I would really would like to convey the message that we would stand for the quality, we would stand for the ethical, scientific, high-tech treatment, and customer care, the guest care shall be supreme from our side, is what we want to tell the community as a message. But at the same time, as a responsible healthcare provider, I don't want people to have diseases. I should say very clearly that we don't want to have more business on somebody's expense. That is not exactly what we try to say. I want people to understand, because the most precious thing which you have is your own health. And health should be, at any cost, you should take those extra kind of steps to make sure, as I told you, the combination of the mind, body, and the habits, and what you eat and exercise, this combination, and protect your health. Because when health is lost, everything is lost.
Thank you so much for spending your valuable time, and absolute information is passed on from your side. And we wish to see you again, and the next time we come to see you,
sure,
we hope that you're at bigger heights as the years come. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And I sincerely thank you for this wonderful opportunity, and my warmest greetings from my side to the audience who are there sitting across and listening and seeing us. Thank you very much.